Hey, Hannah.
Hello.
Hey, welcome back. So I actually took a head start on our next deliverable. By the way, some of our last deliverable was that we wanted to get Windows environment up and running, but it's still actually installing the Visual Build tools, the Visual Studio Build tools. So we're going to leave it running in the background while we work on Ubuntu. So I'm going to share my screen with Hannah here. I think that's working there. Now I actually got a head start on our environment for Ubuntu. Again, I noticed on the last stream that we did not have what we were expecting for a Python install, which I thought was going to be there already for us. So what I did in that other window that we have open, which is 30% done downloading, was sudo apt get install Python 3 pip, which again is the package manager for Python, which we're going to learn how to use with a requirements file by the time we're done this video, which should actually be done in the next 32 minutes, everyone. And I also installed Build Essential, which again is required for that CCXT requirement. So I don't really know if the live stream is working, guys. Can Peter tell me if the live stream is working? While that downloads, my connection might actually be really poor, which could be why I don't see my own live stream. Again, thanks for everybody who's watching. I see there's a whole bunch of people watching as we speak, which is awesome. I think the last session cut off because I unplugged my mouse, I think, to plug into the other computer, which is not a good idea apparently with OBS. So again, right now we're waiting for these tools to install. Now I can't actually run a simultaneous install of Heroku CLI. But let's look that up. How to do that? Heroku CLI Ubuntu. Heroku CLI Ubuntu. Let's see what Windows is doing. Still installing those tools. I might have to do the graphical install here after we're done the stream, but we'll find out here if we just let it continue. Now this VM is being very, very slow because it's installing all this stuff. The stream is not responding to me. Petar says the stream is good, which is good. So I'm glad everybody's watching. I'm glad that everybody's thrilled by this live stream. And I'm glad to help everybody understand a little bit about what we're doing. Again, I think the first takeaway from me is that I should have these environments more put together before I start, which means we're just going to save the ones that we get as soon as they are configured and ready. And we're going to go ahead and use those going forward, rather than spend all this time on the environment. So, Ubuntu. Here's how we do it. So I don't have Snap. Standalone installation. Snap is available on other Linux OSs as well. A universal app store. Good enough. How do I get it? One build. How do I get it? Ubuntu. Good enough. We actually want for the 16. It says it includes it by default. I wonder if that's true. And if we go back, I wonder if we wanted us to do it in sudo or if we wanted to do it as my user that I have. It says sudo snap install, so let's try it. If I could copy, that'd be great. My computer is not very happy with all this stuff that is doing. My computer is not very happy. Okay. It is available on my build of Ubuntu. Look at that. So we're installing Heroku simultaneously while this is doing the apt-get because it's using a different package manager called snapd, which I didn't even know existed on Ubuntu 16, which is great to know. Makes life easier for installing packages like Heroku CLI, which is doing at a fantastic rate, even though the apt-get is slowing down. So probably not a good idea to do both at the same time. End stream. But it's almost done, the snapd. There we go. Run configure hook of Heroku snap if present. I think it would be present if we just downloaded it. Aha, Heroku's installed. So if I go back to Windows, it's going to tell me how to configure Heroku using the project that we just created. Although I think I need a different project for the Python version. Make dir, what do we want to call it? BitMex, momentum, bot. I guess I didn't do that in Windows, but whatever. CD, BitMex. We're going to go over here, and we're going to go into dashboard.heroku. Now it's important that we only run one of these at a time because Heroku only has enough free credits to run one app at once. And I don't have a paid account. Probably will get a paid account so I can do more than one app as soon as I'm able. That said, you can always sign up for more accounts, but that's abuse of the TOS. You don't really want to do that. Never ever do that thing. Always pay for software in the cloud or when you get it at the store. So what I want to do then is I want to not restore this. I want to close this. Never save that. Create a new project. BitMex Momentum Bot. I guess I could have named that something better. BitMex Python Momentum Bot. Could have named the other one Node, but I wasn't thinking far enough ahead. Let's see what Windows is doing. Still doing that. Heroku CLI, Heroku login, Heroku login. Everybody knows how long my password is, which makes it that much easier to hack, but I don't think anybody's going to. Not that worried. What am I doing? Git init. There's actually no files in here. So we'll touch app.py file. We'll do this. Oh, we're not Git installed. So we have to wait for this other. I forgot that Heroku uses a Git server. Not exactly the same thing as GitHub, kind of the same. So we have to wait for this other apt-get to finish installing Python in the build tools and the pip, which is slowly doing. And then we can install Git. And we can do that now. Oh, system administration is so much fun. Probably not the goal of our crypto trading bot sessions, but it's all required, and it's good to go over because some people might get lost on how to start what we're trying to start. So get in it. There we go. Add the remote. Git add everything, which is one file. Again, we should figure out how to do the requirements.txt. Heroku requirements.txt. I don't even know what the requirements are going to be yet. Gedit requirements.txt. I do have Sublime I could have used, but I'm too accustomed to using gedit when I type stuff. Anyway, so we don't know what version of pandas we need. The only library I'm sure we need is pandas. So let's actually go into the. Come on now. Hello, VM. Okay. What's going on here? So we don't need Flask. Oh, it's not letting me click on anything. That's not good. What are you doing, VM? There we go. Alright, what I wanted to do was I wanted to do pip3 install pandas. I know we're going to need pandas because it's the library we're going to need to manipulate the data into a pandas data frame, which is kind of like a CSV if you think about it in a certain way, but pandas is much faster at accessing its own data frames. It's installing some other requirements for pandas right now, which means we're actually going to need to include I think all of these in our requirements.txt, but we'll find out here in a sec. Now if I go to Sublime Text and start looking at the file that I touched, touch is just a command to make an empty file. What we're going to do is we're going to open folder. We're going to use the jar BitMex. So inside here we're going to see the directory of the files. And requirements.txt didn't save, that's okay. I could actually do it here inside of Sublime now, new file. Pandas. So what version of Pandas did we get? Pandas. Does it tell me? Pandas 0.23.4. Pandas equal to 0.23.4. So the version and the requirement need to be labeled. I don't know if we need the other requirements for Pandas, or if it's going to do that on its own. We'll find out here when we push to Heroku. Again, something like def test print hello test. This is going to be our program that we're going to push to Heroku. So where am I? I need to git add all. Oh, where am I? Git add all, git commit, -m, first commit, git, we gotta do this again, git config, -- global, user.email. We'll use the Heroku email. Whoops, I broke it. Whoops, I broke it. Git config, -- global, user.name, Jared. Done. Loads of people in the live stream, which is awesome. Artemidius, UA, there's actually a way to say that I don't know how to do. Whoops. Sorry about that, Artemidius. So let's try this again. Git commit, git push, Heroku master, I think is what we need. And this is again going to build it using the requirements.txt file, which is going to take longer on the first commit. So it's installing Python, it's installing pip. It detected a Python app, which is pretty cool, because last time it detected a Node app on the other repo. So now it's installing everything within requirements. And notice that it does it a lot faster than it did it on my local machine. That's because Heroku has a much faster bandwidth on the internet to anywhere in the US than I do here locally, just by this state of the architecture, which is why we agreed to go with Heroku, because it'll have a much faster connection to BitMex than I do, even though we'll test locally for the most part. But I think that pretty much does up our Ubuntu requirements session. Now, what's the next session here? I wonder what it is. Because we still have, oh, where am I? We still have 20 minutes left in the programming for today. So the next session is, it's a short one that we can go over here. If we take a 3 to 5 minute break and come back in a little bit. So you notice here that the Heroku app is deployed. If I go to the logs on the Heroku app, we're actually going to see it print something to the logs. I think it will before it dies because the program exits. Nope, I guess not. Either way, build succeeded and it didn't die because it is actually running a program this time. I wonder if it's a test like this. It probably is. Let's try that, actually, just for kicks. Git add all, git commit. So I think I had a problem in my code calling a function. Gotta remember Heroku master. Again, it's going to take less time to compile this time, or to push, because it's already got its dependencies installed. What we're expecting in the logs here, I think, is for it to say hello, like a hello world. I could have done a hello world. Either way, I think we're nearly done this video. It took a lot less time in Linux. I think Windows is still doing stuff. No, it's done. So what we want to do here is npm install again, and it's going to install the dependencies. So sorry for flipping back to Windows. I just wanted to see if that did finish eventually. This one deployed to Heroku, our Python bot. And it should say hello. I guess there must be a certain way that we need a log to Heroku's logger here, other than using print, because I think that should have worked. Either way, we'll find out here when we go farther. It's really easy for our Node program in Windows to go ahead and log to Heroku, because all we need to do is a console.log inside of JavaScript on the server. So that's basically it. We could actually break here. And I'm sorry for this next point, Hannah, that you might not be happy about, given that you've hired me to make a profitable bot that you think should be profitable. But the next point in the next session that we're going to quickly do before the end of the day is 2.1. Profitability isn't key here. So basically, while we're doing all this work, and while we do any work for any bot, we should know that really, the objective is to learn. The objective is to refine your strategies and find the strategies that work. Some strategies work on bear markets, some work on bull markets. It's just a matter of finding the right one for you, what you like to tamper with, and all that fun stuff. So we'll go over that here in a second. We'll have a conversation about that. Basically, the learning objective for what we just went over. And hello, Boke programmer. Glad to see you. What we just went over is how to get the Python environment to work with Python 3 and pip and build essential inside of our friend Ubuntu here, which again was this command that we ran. And then we also installed Git the same way. Then we installed Heroku via snapd. And that's basically that. I don't know why we're not seeing logs for Python, but it's probably a matter of using printar or some other logging command to print to Heroku, which is just a simple Google search. We might as well do that. Print log Heroku Python. Logging Python on anything you want to raise to SVO. Give me an example. Logs command. Logs command. Paper trail. We want a simple answer. Adding this line here after the print statement, solve this for me. 13 votes out. Let's try it. Whoops. It's probably going to be important that we know how to log stuff. I am much more familiar with Node, given that I have like 5 repos for Node using Heroku on my GitHub. And this is just a matter of finding the right answer. Again, don't panic if there's anything going on that you don't understand why it's going on. Just try and figure out what to search. Do your best to search. Do your best to filter through the search, like you saw I just did a second ago. When something wasn't very useful, I went to the next one without wasting too much time on it. We don't even know if this is going to work. It helped 13 other people, so it's probably going to help us. And we'll find out right now. No, it's not bringing anything. Maybe I'm not calling the function. Let's see if that's the case. Let's see if my logic here about calling functions is off. Because that's the other issue that could be happening. It's not really our second command, but we'll keep on using it anyway. Maybe we can last up until 6 here, Eastern, 7 my time, with what we're doing right now, and we can just get to the profitability statement tomorrow, which again will be a very short session. So again, I don't think you guys heard this last time that we were talking about this, because I unplugged my mouse and I think it killed the stream. I wonder if Paytar has said anything. Nope. So I just wanted to let you know there's 32 people in here right now, which is awesome. I can't believe that we're so popular. So if you guys want to give me a subscribe, I'll have lots more of this content. We'll have these 3 streams about this Bitcoin trading bot. We may have additional Bitcoin trading bots from our friend Hannah, who's on the line, who may no, it's some other answer. It's something to do with this print thing. I wonder exactly what's going on. Anyway, yeah, so we'll have all of these streams. We'll have potentially more streams after Hannah's done with some personal matters. It's a very exciting personal matters. I just don't know if he wants to mention them. Either way, we'll have a lot more of these streams. We'll have other streams about other stuff, programming in general or crypto in general, over time. And we may have concurrent streams going on about different things that we're trying to accomplish as we go. So if you just want to give me a subscribe, that'd be great. Hannah would be appreciative. We're going to figure out how to log stuff here in a sec. It's not airing out, and it's also not logging what I would want it to log. Just so dumb. No, is there something I'm missing here? This should be really simple. Logging into Django, not appearing. Import logging, good enough. Let's try that. Not what I'm used to get See, if I ran this program here, if I went back and changed this back to what I just had, if I ran Python 3 and then app, it would give me, oh no, it's actually giving me an issue. Did you mean to put the right kind of statement? Yes, you did. I don't know why we didn't have an error in Heroku, but let's try that. Hello world. So maybe it will work on Heroku now. All right. Well, that's a good point. Is that we should always test locally before we try to see anything on Heroku. But you do and you learn. What am I doing here? Git add, git command. Very important lesson. Always test stuff locally. It's going to save you so much time. Rather than, I think we did 4 or 5 pushes to try and figure out what I did wrong, which is, again, I'll show you. I forgot the parenthesis around the string here, which you need for print. I don't know why it did not give me an error inside of Heroku, but that's okay. We'll figure that out later. As soon as we get this to work, as soon as we do get this to work, we have about 10 minutes left. So maybe we'll try to do the exact same kind of output in Windows, even though our Windows tutorial was before, just to fill up the time. Okay. No, still doesn't want to work. Oh, there we go. Build succeeded. No. All right, well, let's try this import logging thing. See if that works better. And just for kicks, let's run it locally. Module logging has no attribute config. So now we're having an issue with our solution. Why both import logging and import logging config are needed? No. I wonder if we need to pip3. No, what we need to do is we need to open requirements.txt, add logging. No, I'm going to do this. Okay, logging at 0. Oh, something broke. That's not good, man. pip3, install logging. So we're going down a rabbit hole now, which is good because we needed to cover the last 10 minutes. Logging is a part of this Python standard library. It's available as soon as you install Python. You don't need to pip install anything. Good enough. Good enough. So why do you suppose our code is not working? It's because of this config thing. So let's try to get rid of it. See if we can run it without that. Python app. Okay, it didn't actually log anything. Hit Python 3 logging example. Logging how to. Import logging. Okay, let's try that. Okay, warning, root, watch out. Good enough. What's wrong with this? Logging to a file. We don't really want warning. Info. Okay, why is that like that? The default level is warning. Well, how do we change the default level? Command line option, log equals info. No. Oh, we have to do caps. No. Well, I mean, let's just do warning then if it's going to be simpler. Or change default logging level Python 3. Logging how to? Logging facility. Set default logging level. Import logging. And now we're going to install this PyMol thing. P3, install PyMol. Well, this has been fun. We've learned a lot, I think. 42 viewers, which is good. Cannot find PyMol. I wonder if we can do easy install PyMol. Oh, we don't have easy install. That's great. Okay, I wonder if we need PyMol. Whoops. Aha, we got an info log. So let's do hello world. There we have hello world. Let's see if it works with our friend Heroku. We actually have to go back a while. Alright, let's see what's going on. If we can get a log, we'll be set. We can do the same thing quickly in Windows. So we'll add a quick hello world example inside of our good old Node. Windows script that we wrote. So I'm going to go ahead and git add all, git commit. Whoa, that's not good. So what we need then is we need a git ignore file to get rid of that node modules. So I'm going to go ahead and look at my my GitHub again, because it'll be in here. github.com/creativeSS. So when you're pushing to Git, you can always tell it to ignore stuff, which is exactly what we're looking to do right now with what I'm doing right now. So one of these will have a git ignore file, which I can copy the raw files from, or the raw code from, in a new file called, oops, .git ignore. Now if we run that again, git add and git command, come on now. There we go. We'll see that it's not trying to push node modules anymore, which is good. So we'll go back to Ubuntu, see what's going on there. Sorry for switching up a little bit, guys, but we just need to fill the last 10 minutes here. So if we go back to the logger here, it still didn't log anything, which is so unusual. We'll see that the node one works exactly as I expected. I wonder if there's a way to... How to see all the logs on Heroku. Let's see if this helps us. Heroku logs -n. This might be what we're looking for. We can also do a tail of this, I guess. So I guess I don't need Heroku on that. Actually, to tell you the truth, I think what we need to do is use Heroku CLI to do what I just tried to do. Aha! So a whole bunch of stuff here, but no log. So I'll have a look at that when we're done, because I don't exactly know what Python's doing that is not logging. I don't know what just happened here. Oh, we don't want Windows build tools in our package.json at all to build on Heroku. So I will get the logs to work in our friend, the Windows Node app. And I'll look up why it's not working for our next session on our Python app in Ubuntu. But at least this should show my mastery of understanding how Node works, unless they've just changed Heroku completely and how the logging works. I don't know. We'll find out in 2 seconds. And then we'll nearly be done in the stream. So again, the learning objective here was how to build actually the Ubuntu environment. Even though I don't really know how to log in Heroku, we actually had 9 releases. But again, it's working fine if we run the app using local Python 3. Hello world. Print should have worked if I ran it locally. Anyway, there are some problems. See, it printed hello world, which means we can log properly in Node to the Heroku output logs. It'll take me probably half an hour, maybe 45 minutes on my own to figure out why Python doesn't want to do that right off the bat. But either way, we'll figure it out and we'll get it to work. And that pretty much draws it to a close. Now, Hannah, I know that we haven't actually touched any code yet, but I promise we will. Did you notice when we went over the TradingView indicator and what was required, did you have any questions about my interpretation of the TradingView indicator? Oh. Gotcha. Well, tomorrow we're going to get into the code. Tomorrow we're going to go over some more stuff. Profitability isn't key. We don't do high frequency trading. We might even combine these two into one session because they're kind of small. What is trending price momentum? We'll have a discussion about that. How we select the buying and selling signals. Either way, we're going to get through all of these in about 10 minutes apiece, and then we're going to start diving into code. And really, the code is not that difficult. There's a whole bunch of different platforms we can use, or rather libraries for Node and for Python. We're going to start with Python tomorrow. Probably tomorrow, I would say, and we're going to build our solution. So if I just go Python pip BitMex API, we're going to find a whole bunch of different people that have already created stuff to help us, including BitMex themselves. They've made a connector for Python, API connectors. So I guess we don't even need to use anybody else's. We can use BitMex's actual Python code to connect directly to BitMex WebSockets. So that'll be our first step tomorrow once we start getting into the actual code. And we can see some of the sample output here that we're going to use to find the prices and stuff. I wonder what the price was of Bitcoin when they made this documentation. $8,900. So it wasn't that long ago, which means this is pretty well documented, I would say, and it works exactly as we expected to. So the real test is going to be going ahead and measuring how long after the minute, like I said, on the seconds mark, it takes to get to reflect the data that's coming from the BitMex minute lead data. That'll be the real test of whether this is going to be profitable or not, or a good endeavor or not. And I guess Hannah, we'll reconvene tomorrow at the same time, 4 p.m. Eastern, and we'll continue our code.
Okay, sounds great.
Okay, thank you so much for your time, and I do guarantee we'll get into the code tomorrow.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the work.
No worries. Thanks for the contract. And that draws our live stream to a close. We're actually right on the minutely mark on the hour. It's funny because I was just talking about secondly mark on the minute. And we're going to go ahead and close the live stream. Again, the things we should have learned in this last session are how to configure the build environment in, what was it? Python on Linux. And we're going to figure out how to log using Python on Linux to Heroku. I don't really know how to do that yet, but it's going to be an easy fix. I'll have that done by the time we reconvene tomorrow at 4 Eastern. And that's it. If everybody wants to drop me a subscribe and chat in chat the next time we're here tomorrow, that'd be great. Otherwise, everybody have a wonderful day, and we will talk again soon. Cheers. That was fun, guys. Thanks, everybody.